game at any level this season.
Well, we're here. It's Smithy's VFL time. It's round one. The ball is about to be sent high in the air. Not all, a bit of an awkward bounce to kick things off. The ruck was one. It will go down and will kind of bobble around at the moment. Last time these two clubs played at this venue was 1991 here at Moorabbin. And the ledger, Collingwood have won 12 times out of the 19 times that they played here at Moorabbin at RSEA Park. Zebras trying to get it out the middle. Again, I think we're going to get a repeat stoppage.
Both teams just feeling each other out early. Lockie Sullivan straight into the guts for the Pies, but this time he's doing it as an AFL-listed player. The first time for him as he finally got his opportunity a few weeks ago. Campbell's going to pump it long inside 50. Keeler has got it at the back, and this is a young man with a bucket load of talent, and Saints fans want to see him put it all together. Looks like he's going to go around the corner. Initially, in fact, it's not. It's Caminiti, who came out of nowhere to play 18 games in his first season as a Saint, and that is perfect. Zebras on the board early. Caminiti with a big pack mark and goal.
Winning that free kick out there on the wing. Great entry there by Campbell to put it up in the pack, and fantastic stuff there from Caminiti coming over the back of the pack and then finishing with the controversial bend around the body, which is becoming more and more popular. Fantastic finish in the end. Hit the ball nice and cleanly, and what a great start it is for the Zebras.
Yeah, just some numbers on Caminiti. So he was picked up in the supplemental selection period just before last season actually started, and with the glut of injuries to key forwards at the Saints, he was forced into action, played 18 games over the course of last season in the AFL, kicked 19 goals, 9, and proved very much a reliable option. But with all those players back now from injury, Membry and King, of course, in the forward line for the Saints, he starts 2024 in the VFL.
He certainly does. We're back in the middle. Fantastic start. Deep entry by the Zebs. See if they can repeat that here. And that's an awkward bounce. That's going to be called back surely. Both ruckmen today. Tom Campbell versus Aiden Begg. Aiden Begg, 27 games in the VFL. He gets it and gets his own clearance and puts it out into space. Wilson looking to run onto that, but he's probably going to end up short. The Zebs will get the footy and they'll work it out on the outer wing. Come back in through a handball to Blamiris, and he'll go out wide. And they'll take a mark out here with Ryan on debut. He'll go a little chip over the top. Now they get to centre half forward. That one comes over the back here. Going to be battled away here. Collard trying to get a piece of it, but Collingwood end up with it. Great work there by Noble to get that one out. He'll get it back. Noble's tackled. Great forward line pressure there from the Zebs, and we'll get a ball up deep inside 50 for Sandringham.
Perhaps not the time to take the advantage there. Noble, of course, is keen to make a good impression. Fell out of favour for the final series last year, and the famous heartbreak story in the Premiership. Dangerous ball here is going to be socked into the post. Sandy doing all the scoring so far. Lead it by 7 points, just 3.5 minutes in. They only won the 5 games last year, Sandringham. 5 wins, 12 losses, and a draw. Collingwood a bit more successful, 11-7. They played in the wildcard game where they got a big win over Richmond, but then they were beaten soundly by Williamstown in the elimination final as Ari Schoenmaker wins the free for an arm chop. One of the great kicks to come out of last year's draft. Slid due to off-field concerns. This one just to the top of the square, off hands. Collingwood defence having to do a lot of work early on. Charlie Dean into the VFL side after a couple of AFL games to start the season, and now they can chain. Allen just puts it out wide for Tom Wilson. VFL veteran, of course, but it's going to come straight back. Long driving kick into the pocket. It's out of bounds on the full.
Very interesting setup at the moment. The Zebs just really dominating across their half-forward line. It's going to be a free kick here. Sofronides will take it for the Pies. He's going to go short and across the face of goals, finding Jacob Ryan. Jacob Ryan was almost going to make his AFL debut. Had some injury concerns towards the end of last year. Great to see him out on the park. He goes long down the line, looking for an option. The pack flies will go to the front of the pack. Great pressure there again by the Zebs. It's going to be out of bounds on the full, that kick, and They'll have possession here just outside 50. It's going to be Isaac Keeler. Keeler managing the 12 VFL games. AFL listed player. Keeler just outside 50, puts it to the top of the square. The pack flies, there's no mark there. Will come down to the front, snap, and there it is. Great goal there. Hal Khan on debut. Gets his first and second for the Zeps.
Looking good early on, Sandringham. Hal Khan, the big recruit for the VFL list over the off-season. Spent a couple of years on the Sydney Swans AFL list. Didn't quite crack it for an AFL debut, but he's dangerous around goal. Kicked 8 of them last year for the Swans in all 18 Smithies VFL games. And he's a local boy, Sandy Dragons, so back at Trevor Barker Beach Oval, which I'm sure he'll be loving as he tries to get a second chance on an AFL list. And St Kilda have been known to promote from the Zebras, so he'll be looking to try and make a spot on that list his own as we're back in the middle. Begg and Campbell to go at it. Begg got the leap that time, but straight down to Crouch, and the Zebras will clear through Hipwell, last year's best and fairest. Long ball to the paint of 50. Everyone just lost it there for a moment. Lowe got first hands to it. Flashing through his Butler. Back from injury. Loves these situations. And drills it from the pocket.
Creamer's rising to the moment. Creamer's rising to the top of the moment for the Zebras, just dominating the footy at the clearance and the stoppage. Great to see, obviously, Crouch get an early touch there, and they just worked it forward. And then Butler with a brilliant finish. Really smart stuff there in the pocket from Butler. And as you said, coming back from injury, great to see him start to get a bit of touch.
Feels like he's been around forever. He's only 27 years old. Still has plenty of good AFL footy left in him. Played all 24 games for the Saints last year, including the elimination final loss against the Giants, and kicked 33 goals. So, prolific season, 33-13. So takes advantage of his opportunities, as we know, and that was classic Dan Butler, crumbing front and square.
Back to the middle. Collingwood will make a change here. They'll throw Ned Long in the ruck. Ned Long on debut. So playing at Old Melbourne is his community club. Shout out to everyone from Old Melbourne tuning in. A ruck infringement here. There's going to be a whistle. So it's going to be a free kick again here to the Zebs. They're going to get another shot at a clearance here. This time it'll be Collingwood. Sorry, reversed.
Umpire pointed the wrong way.
Yeah. He sold me down the river. I thought it was Zeb's footy. So Collingwood will have it in the middle here. They'll like to go forward. First entry for them this afternoon. Big fly over the back. Couldn't quite get it. Ball just bobbling around at the moment. Comes out. The snap at goal attempt there by Glover. Bouncing to the top of the square. The Zebs look to get a clearance here, and they do. They find their target here in Hipwell. He dodges through one. Gets the handball away. Now into the pack. Just in the back there was Wilson. And there'll be a free kick. So Wilson will have it just outside of 50 here. A little too far from home. Let's see if he can get a centering kick. Just puts it into the pocket. There was a wayward one, and it's turned over. And now Keeler with the footy.
So Keeler being tried as a key defender this season, has primarily been a forward in his first year on the Saints list. He just pops it back for McLennan. Missed most of last season with a major shoulder injury, so good to see him out there. Only managed the 5 games in the Smithies VFL, and now they're going to try and work the outer side. Dangerous as Schoenmaker's caught. Had nowhere to go. The handball really sold him into trouble, and Carmichael will take the resultant free. Slight breeze at Moorabbin today, favouring the left of screen, which is the northern end of the ground. So he's just going to set it up. No one really able to get a clean attempt on the mark. Here's Hutchinson, VFL listed recruit, off to Long, who's up and under. Kick is wide.
So play will be brought in here from Sandringham. Let's see what their setup's like. I think Collingwood can lock it in here. Easy kick, just on the edge of defensive 50. On the outer side here of RSEA Park, goes into a pack. Flying there was Sofronidis, but he couldn't quite get it. Sandringham will come away with it. Now they'll go forward, but getting back there is Ryan. He's got a paddock of space to operate. gets the footy, gets the hand pass across to Noble. Noble trying to go back to Ryan, but again, Sandringham doing a great job locking it into their 50. Try and get that hand pass out, but that one's turned over. And again, a pack of players will swarm on the footy here. They're looking for the stoppage, and Noble ends up with it, but there's a whistle. It's going to go in favour of the Zebs here. They're going to get another shot on goal. To take the kick is Hugo Garcia. Hugo this season, pick number 50 in the national draft from the Calder Cannons, a great Calder Cannons product. Also from his home club of Greenvale in the famous Essendon District Footy League. Garcia makes his way in. Not a bad kick off the boots. Got a little bit of height, and he liked it straight away. And Garcia gets his first goal for the Zebs, and his first in the VFL. Sandy Zebs now 4-1-25, dominating the Pies at the moment.
He is a goal kicker. Hugo Garcia played 11 games in the Coates Talent League last year for 13 goals, playing primarily as a midfielder, but as he just saw, he's very much capable of getting forward and hitting the scoreboard. Sandringham off to a brilliant start as we kick off another season of unparalleled State League footy coverage on afl.com.au and the AFL Live official app. Every game of the Smithies VFL and Rebel VFLW will be available to watch live and free via those platforms. And it's, about 4:30, 4:15 on a Friday afternoon. A few people probably just knocked off work. What a great time to watch some footy as we're back in the middle. Bytel, former Saint of course, drills it towards Johnson. Needs a big game today, Ash Johnson. Started the year in the AFL side, but dropped after only 3 disposals and a behind last week. Runs himself into a little bit of danger. Keeler kept up the fight and was able to force the turnover by foot. Crouch now trying to clear as Keeler is cleaned up. That'll be 50 metres. Just a little bit late there, Chad Mulvogue. Not malicious, but just mistimed. And Keeler's made an enterprising start. Actually the leading ball winner on the ground. That's his 5th touch. But nothing doing there as Dean able to float across and take the mark.
So with Dean here across the last line of defence to the Pies, they've just struggled just linking a couple of possessions together, so this kick is going to be super important. He lowers his eyes, but it's turned over, unfortunately, and it's Angus Hesty, who's here on debut again for the Zebs. So many debuts, obviously being round 1. Geelong Falcons product, number 33 in the draft. Just looking around at a couple of options, but he's got to back himself in here, does Angus. So Hesty making his way in. It's going to be all of 50. He's got to get a heap of it. And I think he tried a little too hard to get extra distance, and it just come off the side of the boot. Ball it to the front of the pack. The Pies will get it now. They'll rush that one. It'll be a behind. So Sandringham move ahead now to 4-2-26.
Begg wanted no part of that footy, and who can blame him? The pressure from Sandy's been terrific so far. They lead it by 25 points as Glover just goes short for Dean. He's another one playing VFL footy today after playing the first 2 games in the AFL for the Pies. Long up the line. Collingwood trying to work out of danger, but the Zebs do have numbers. Sofronides trying to thump it forward, but here's Crouch. Off to McLennan. And that's a good ball. And now Long, inside forward 50. Collard lurking on the ground, but he's not needed because Caminiti has another mark inside 50.
Great positioning there from Caminiti. Got to the drop zone, took the mark really well. That's 2 really impressive marks of Caminiti deep inside 50.
So we mentioned earlier his impressive debut season at AFL level. Finds himself as the linchpin of the Sandringham attack so far today. Kick the first of the game. This one will test him on the wrong side for the right foot up. And with the breeze going against him as well, but that did not matter. Anthony Caminiti is on fire in this opening term.
2 now to Caminiti, and great celebration to boot as well. Fantastic kick as well. Like you said, that wrong side for the right footer, but it doesn't feel like there's much of a breeze here at all this afternoon. There's a slight little bit of breath of wind coming through, which is absolutely fantastic for a blue sky and clear conditions. And great finish there by Caminiti. He has 2 for the afternoon. 2 marks, 2 kicks, and 2 goals. That's perfect record. You've got to be more than happy with that. And again, the Zeb's just winning at the contest at the moment. Crouch with 6 possessions. Keeler doing well all over the ground with 5. Sean Makers, the boy from Tassie, with 4. And Angus McClellan with 4. They're leading possession getters for the game here. And no surprise, they're all Sandringham Zebras as they've got the first 5 here. They have a nice handy lead with 32 points. Begg sent back into the ruck for the Pies. That one, the bounce didn't really go his favour. A little dive on the footy here. We'll get a restart in play right in the middle of RSEA Park.
Haven't seen Tojiath yet. Draftee for the Pies. Harry DeMattia not playing today with a finger injury, but maybe on managed minutes, the youngster, as the Pies go inside 50, but it's going to bounce straight back out. Blamirez, just a little fumble. Pressure from the Pies good, but Sandy up to the challenge. Caminiti juggles it over the line.
Great stuff there by Caminiti, just working his way up the ground as well, applying that little pressure so then Sandringham can build their attack from there. And
we should mention today the AFL is trialling ball tracking technology for this VFL and VFLW double header. A lot of work has been done over the last 18 months between Sportable, the AFL, and Vic Uni's been involved as well in testing and developing the ball with the microchip in it. Watched a video recently explaining the process. Actually quite fascinating how they had to put all sorts of different weights on the ball. I'd highly recommend you read the article on afl.com.au as we get another stoppage. And the idea is, with the chip in the ball and sensors around the ground, we'll be able to track exactly where the ball is at any given time. And we'll also be able to measure velocity and power and all sorts of things like that on players' kicks and handballs. So for all the stat nerds out there, which I'm certainly one of, that's very exciting stuff as Begg tries to do it all himself, but unable to break free.
So we're going to get a ball up again here on the wing position. That time one there by Heath. He got the double-handed tap out, but the Pies will dive on the footy. But great Sandringham pressure here. Their tackle pressure in this game has just been immense so far. Even though they've had the majority of the possessions, their tackling and pressure just not allowing the Pies to get any outside run at all. That one was one down. Carmichael got the hand pass to Noble. He slaps it on the boot and goes out wide. Trying to camp under it there was Hutchinson, but he was just overran the footy in the end. He got the tackle away there, and it's going to be a free kick to Sandringham now, across half back. They'll look to generate some play here. They've been lethal in this position. It'll be Seaton. He just sells the candy, but he's wrapped up in the tackle. Managed to get the footy away somehow. Then got the hand pass out wide. Then they'll go for a kick down the line. It's in the half-forward position now. Little fist over the back. Noble trying to dive on the footy. He couldn't quite get it. Now they work a series of hand passes here, the Pies, and look for a relieving kick out wide to the wing into space. It's a foot race. It's a one-on-one contest. They win the footy. Now they go hand pass over the top to Wilson. Wilson looking for a lead. Just lowers the target, but the kick just had a bit too much mustard on it. Went over the back there. Harrison tried to pick it up. Got the hand pass over the top. Shot a goal here from Hutchison. Lowers the eyes, goes hand pass inboard. Now they'll regenerate play. A dinky kick there into the corridor. Probably wasn't great. It didn't hit the target quick enough. Now Crouch has it for Sandringham. He gets the relieving hand pass out. He'll try and get it back here. Trying to work his way there was Blameris. Finally got it out. Noble picked it up. He went the hand pass in to Hartman. And Hartman was tackled into the ground. The great story is Hartman as well on debut here for the Pies.
Yep, out of the Mooralbark Footy Club, was turned back by the Eastern Rangers last season, but ended up playing 11 games for the Chargers as he just worked and developed his game over the course of 2023. He now finds himself as Collingwood's 23rd man in the VFL in opening round. McLennan intercepts. He's looked like a calming presence so far in defence for the Zebras. Schoenmaker shows off that long boot. Ryan in the aggressive position in front. Able to get the fist on it, and now Collingwood away. Working corridor, Allen. Begg sweeps it wide for Ryan. Has the short target in Carmichael and goes there. Picked up by the Pies in the 2022 mid-season draft, but struggled to break into the AFL team last year, Josh Carmichael. Now this is Ned Long. Delisted by Hawthorn at the end of last season. Bytel against his old side, top of the square, Hutchinson. He loves to fly and he loves to mark.
Great centering kick there. Great effort there to get the double grab there by Hutchinson. We'll have a shot on goal here. Wonthaggi boy.
Playing his first Smithies VFL game today, and he comes with a big reputation for taking the big mark and also kicking goals. Kicked 3 of them in Collingwood's practice match a few weeks ago. But yet to open his account in the real stuff. Skips in and sneaks it home.
Good true kick in the end there. Just snuck by the post. He managed to just steer that one through, and all the boys get around him. Obviously, his debut goal for the Pies here at the VFL. Great to see. Plenty of camaraderie, and that's what they need at the moment. They just need a lift. They need something. They need some sort of spark, and hopefully that was one of them that Hutchinson could deliver there with a great mark. And speaking about Sparks and Hutchinson both hailing from Wonthaggi, listening to Josh Fraser during the week, had big raps for those boys pre-season, said they put in a lot of work, and they look to be super special for this VFL team this year. So great to see them get their debuts for the Pies off to a great start. Ball back to the middle. It'll be Ned Long in the ruck here for Collingwood. Begg and Long sharing the ruck duties today. They've been switching quite regularly. It's a warm sort of day, and obviously round 1 you gas out pretty early, or you feel you do anyway, even though you've had a huge pre-season. Match fitness is just a little bit different. Ball goes over the back here. The Zebs will try and bring it out this side of the ground. Blameris was run into the ground there and tried to get the hand pass away, but it's going to be held up right on the half-forward position here for Collingwood.
So it's going to be Purcell and Campbell. And Purcell from St. Paul's McKinnon, just a few minutes down the road from here, in fact. As the Pies gather, this is Campbell Lane, co-captain for season 2024, but Campbell, a big obstacle to get past. Such a fantastic player at this level is Tom Campbell, second in the Zeb's best and fairest last year, as that one's cut off by Ryan. Was able to sneak in for an AFL debut last year, just the one game. And he's going to go long up the line. 2, Blamirez backing back. Just couldn't hang on. So when these two sides faced off last year, it was round 18 at the AIA Centre. Collingwood took that one by 16 points, 64-48, but it was close all the way to three-quarter time before the Pies kicked away in the last. We've got a hold going Campbell's way. He's causing them some issues in the ruck. Purcell only undersized by a few centimetres, but there is a bit of a bulk difference. Luca McNabb tight roping the boundary line. He's able to find a target in Garcia. Kick from about 70 out. Just puts it to the hot spot. Big pack of players. Off hands. It's taken by Collard, who doesn't need much space. Won't get the distance, but Caminiti will mark it going back with the flight instead.
Third mark inside 50 for Caminiti, and he's just been brilliant. He's been able to get to the drop zone, just reads the play really well. His first and this mark have been tough ones, but it's been his ability to just get to where the ball's going and find it, and that's exactly what you need from a key forward.
So kick the first goal of the day from a largely similar position, just a little bit further out. going round the corner. He's going to do it again. And Anthony Caminiti takes a deep breath and misses to the near side. 2 goals, 1 now on the day for him.
Unfortunate there from Caminiti. Just got a little extra English on it, and it just came to that left-hand post. It'll be John Noble to bring it in here for Collingwood. And again, this has been a part of their game which have just struggled. Sandringham setting up defensively really well as Noble comes out to the broadcast side of the ground. Getting under that was Keeler. He knocked it to the front of the pack. Now the hand pass comes out wide. Houghton got a hot hand pass inboard there, but didn't quite get the intended target. They'll dive on it here, and we'll get a stoppage just outside 50 for Sandringham.
Crouch up to 8 disposals for the Zebras. Noble's got 7 to lead the Pies. Carmichael, Ned Long and Jacob Ryan all have 5, as do Keeler, McNabb, McLennan and Schoenmaker. He's Hasty, taken over the line. Drafted out of the Geelong Falcons last year, Angus Hasty was really impressive in a couple of games for Vic Country in the championships as well. A real feature of his game is his propensity to run and carry and take the game on. Saints fans will love to see that over the years. Free kick going Garcia's way. He's another draftee who's impressed early on. The Saints traded up to get him in the draft, so they really wanted him. High ball. Faimalo jumped really early. Pies defence under pressure, but Bytel up to the task. Wilson will do well to get it out of bounds here, and that's exactly what he does. 26-point game. The Zebras coming off only 5 wins and a draw last year, taking it right up to the Pies, who were right in the thick of the finals mix. Ball tossed in. Campbell trying to get it moving. Free kick going to Toe Giath.
So Giath, great story is Giath. Picked up this season. He was drafted pick number 19. He'll bring it in. Pies will go out wide here. They like to go short and just trying to pluck that one out of the air, but couldn't. And again, the Zebs are going to dive on it here, but it's wrapped up here on the outer side. Get a ball up just outside 50. And again, the Pies just struggling to get it out of that area. Sandringham doing a great job of just locking it in. Ball come back into Garcia. He got the hand pass away into the pack. Ball coming out wide. Beautiful race to get this one. Sullivan looking for it. He got the toe poke to Noble, and Noble went across the field of play. It's going to be a boundary throw.
This is just game 1 of a massive Smithy's VFL Rebel VFLW doubleheader here at RSEA Park in Moorabbin. Coming up after this one, it'll be the Southern Saints and the Magpies to kick off the VFLW season. So make sure you stay tuned for that one. At the moment, Sandringham comfortably ahead of Collingwood, 26 points the margin, late stages of this opening term. Caminiti, the only multiple goal kicker on the ground with 2. Noble trying to explode through. And fortunately for him in the end, he was taken high because he was in a lot of trouble. This will be disposal number 8 for Noble. Kick to a contest. The Pies have done a lot of that in this opening term. Long's just going to bang it forward, but it's going to be held up in the breeze. Underneath it, Schoenmaker. We've seen a bit of what he can do already as he launches inside 50. Collingwood have got numbers back, and they are going to escape. Mulvogue has the short option in Carmichael.
Carmichael here across half-back. Signals to his teammates just to slow it down a little bit here and let's control the tempo, and then points down the line as he'll look for the safe kick. Keeps it low, and that's turned over straight away. Sean Makers, the boy from Tassie, will pluck that out the air. He'll go inboard with it. He finds his target there in Heath. Heath will go across. They'll look for the switch here into the middle of the ground. McClellan with the mark, and he'll go out wide again to Crouch. and Crouch will go again. So too easy at the moment. The Pies have got numbers flooded back. Now the Zebs go that long kick into the pocket, just pushed under the footy. Caminiti was at the back of the pack, but the ball rolled out over the line. We'll get a boundary throw in. Deep inside 50 here for Sandringham. Now, I mentioned earlier there wasn't much of a breeze, but that's really picked up throughout this first term, and you can start to see some balls holding up in the air, and it is favouring the left of the broadcast screen. So the Pies have just got to hold out a little bit here, and then they'll get a slight advantage. As you can see, that ball held up in the air on the throw-in. Came down to Gus here. He couldn't quite get it away. Now the Pies with a good clearance here. They'll go into the middle of the ground. Great contested work, but it'll go over to the back. Keeler trying to swoop in and pick it up. Couldn't quite in the end. Blamaris got it. He got the hand pass going for it. Now the Zebs looking to get it away through show and makers. The ball spills out. Collingwood will pick it up here. Now they'll come out wide. Keeler getting across, applying a big bump there is Keeler. Then following up with a second effort and a third effort. He was shoved over in the end. He'll come out to the back to Hasty. He got tackled right on the boundary line. That was a good, strong tackle. And we're going to get a boundary throw in broadcast side of the ground.
Saw Harry Kennedy involved there, the shortest player on the field today, just the 173 centimetres. Former Northern Bull Ant. Joins Collingwood for season 2024. Heath stumbled, affectionately known as Moose. Here's Max Heath, and here's another chance for Kennedy. Kick well weighted. The Sandy defence got back in numbers, but Wilson should run onto this and finish it off. And Collingwood get their second to bring the margin back to within 20 late in this first term.
All of a sudden, that goal becomes worth a little bit here as that breeze starts to pick up through there. So great by Wilson to robe the pack there and run into an open goal. Fantastic stuff there. And good to see Collingwood starting to mount some sort of comeback. They're just looking a little bit better around the ground and at the contest, starting to get the clearances going their way. Lockie Sullivan winning the clearance count at the moment with 2. Tom Campbell for Sandringham with 2 as well. And then a truckload of players with single in the clearances. But Sullivan's been a good force, just getting that ball going forward. Obviously, Sullivan, AFL listed now, is the SSP pick for Collingwood. He was the captain of the Dogs VFL unit. So the Dogs won't be happy with that one if he plays a few AFL games and gets it together, as they had him in their house, right under their nose. Let's see if that SSP will work out. Out of the ruck straight away was Begg, roving his own stuff. Now they go to that man in Sullivan. He feeds the hand pass out wide to Carmichael, but his kick won't beat the siren, and that'll be it. Collingwood just started to get it going there to the end of the quarter. Brilliant stuff. List, I thought, oh, well, he's going to put in a big performance here, and like you said, it is going to be tough to get back in here for the Saints. Plenty of opportunity, though, if you're wearing the stripes of Collingwood. And so that ball continue to be balled up again. I don't want to say the H word. I don't think that exists in the vocabulary for Collingwood at the moment. We're not going to call it that at all. And it comes to the bottom. Allen looking to get the clearance away, but just couldn't. Crouch overran the footy. Now they get it going through Begg. He got the hand pass out wide. That was a good entry here. Now can they capitalise from this? That mark was just dropped. Keller got the fist over the back for Sandringham. He's been fantastic in defence this afternoon, is Keller. Putting on a great show here in game 1 of the Smithies VFL. It's going to be a throw-in on the outer side.
Leading ball winner for the Pies is Carmichael with 8. Long and Noble and Sullivan have all worked their way up to 8 as well. As the Zebras win the clearance, but it's just a high up and under. Having to camp underneath it was Hall Kahan. Couldn't drag it in, and now the Pies a chance. Noble little fumble. Able to break through the Zagari tackle, and the vision and the poise to find a target inside forward 50. Carmichael will go back and shoot for goal.
Summed up perfectly there, Peps, with vision and poise. It was great just to go through traffic and then find the option on the outer side.
And that's just a little bit of the class and AFL experience that Noble brings to this Collingwood VFL lineup, as he's desperate to force his way back into the side. As is this man, Josh Carmichael. Played 7 games in 2022 after being drafted in the mid-season draft. Managed just the 1 game last year. Very capable in front of the sticks, and you see it there. Pies get the first of the second, And the margin's back to just 14 points.
So obviously some of the changes there Josh Fraser would have made. He's just using the ball a little bit more efficiently, looking for that number, looking for that extra out wide and finding space. And they're able to do that. They dominated at the clearance there. Then they're able to bring it forward, got another clearance going. And what a hit there by Noble to find Carmichael. And, of course, he had to finish the work. And it was a brilliant finish. And the Pies, they just look much more comfortable than they did in the first 10 or 15 minutes in this game.
He started to wrestle back a little bit of momentum maybe towards the end of that first quarter. And they're off to the perfect start in the second, Todd.
They certainly are. There's no better start than that. Just getting one going forward, a mark inside 50. So Begg and Campbell in the ruck here. They'll go at it. Campbell winning the tap, that one. It goes out to the side of the pack there. Trying to get it forward there was Hodden, but he was wrapped up. And we're going to get a repeat ball up at the moment. In terms of clearances at the moment, the Pies lead 13-7. And that ball goes higher than it went longer. It went straight up and down. The fist come over the back. Sullivan got it. He got the hand pass to Noble. Then they get it going forward here. Here's Jythe. He just went forward with it. Now it's kicked inside 50. Great on the lead. Then the snap. Open goal square. It's on here. And Collingwood get another one. So all of a sudden, 2 in a row here. Great setup going early. And Hutchison will pick up another one.
So the Pies off to a hot start in this second term. First up, the goal to Carmichael, then Glover running into the open goal. And they're all single goal kickers so far for the Pies. And we just got a little glimpse there of what Tojiath can do. Plays a bit more aerially than his brother Chankuth. Of course, he's a few centimetres taller. That vertical leap is something he uses to his advantage inside defensive 50, and I get the feeling Pies fans will love watching that for many years to come. As we're back in the middle. Neither ruckman gets a hand on it. Begg, creative, and unable to break free as long.
All of a sudden looking a different team at the moment at the stoppage. Great work here, and it's kind of really started with Begg. But Campbell gets to the front in that one. He was pushed in the back. He's going to win the free kick here in the middle. Goes out with a relieving hand pass and gets Blameris. He goes inside 50 with it. Underneath that contest, it goes to the front of the pack. The Pies will get it with a series of hand passes here and come out wide through Wilson. He'll get it to Noble, and Noble just bend it around the corner, but that will be turned over. He'll be Schoenmakers with it. Yeah, he'll be a happy boy from Tassie. I know he's on the Saints list, but obviously with the Tassie team being named, he'll get it back. He'll probably be one in years to come. That'll be rumoured to go back home. That one goes into the corridor. And it's wrapped up, and we'll get a ball up. Inside 50 here for the Zeps.
Jeez, Todd, the young fella's just been drafted and we're already shipping him off, are we?
That's pretty big, isn't it? It's a big call. After I said it, I thought about it. I go, it's probably a bit heavy, but I'm excited.
I like the enthusiasm. It's good. He's shown a lot of what he can do early. He's had the 9 touches now. His foot skills pristine. He's got the 5 marks as well. At least 2 or 3 of those intercept. Don't have the exact number on that for you. As we're going to get it thrown in inside the Zebras forward 50. 2 goals in the opening 5.5 minutes for the Pies have brought the margin back to 8 points. Looping handball over the top. Zagari can't quite find Hipwell. In fact, that was Houghton who sees it over the line. Ollie Houghton just able to get a little bit more continuity in his footy towards the back half of the season. Stress fractures in his back sort of derailed his opening season, or just injuries in general. He's picked 35 in the 2022 draft. His dad actually played for Collingwood, Trent Houghton, one of the few to do the Collingwood Carlton double. As we're going to get it thrown in once again. Begg and Campbell. And they'll go at it. Campbell with strength. Houghton trying to break free, but Sullivan wearing him closely. Haven't seen a lot of Lance Collard yet for the Zebras. He's one who was drafted by the Saints last year. Actually made his debut as the sub, but didn't get a disposal in 38 minutes of game time, so he'll be wanting to get involved and he'll relish the opportunity to get a full game in. As Mitch Ryan sends it wide, not the best kick for Lowe, intercepted by Lane, who goes inboard for Richards.
Richards here, just in a holding pattern at the moment, waiting for an option up forward. He'll be in the middle of the ground. He'll be marched forward here for a 50-metre penalty. Bit going on behind play, so he's going to get a shot at goal here.
Yeah, Caminiti just got into the restricted area, and that's going to bring Joe Richards very much within scoring range.
11 goals in his VFL career, 14 games last year. He's right in front here in pole position. Bring this back with a kick, and he does. An easy goal there, great work there. And the Pies are back here. They've got their 5. They now move ahead 5-1-31. All of a sudden, they trail by 2. They've got that advantage with the win, but those goals late in that first quarter that really set them up here to zoom past the Zebs. The Zebras at one stage had it out to a 31 point lead, and all of a sudden it's back down to 2.
Richards, a fascinating story in his own right. Picked with pick 48 in the 2022 national draft. He was overlooked in his draft year, obviously, and then spent some time bouncing around between country footy clubs, and eventually his form was just so good for Wangaratta that AFL clubs started taking notice, and Collingwood pounced among a number of teams that were interested. Back in the middle, Crouch. Might have kicked it the wrong way, Crouch. I think he did. Seaton has to mop up, and luckily the Zebras get away without any damage done. He's had a lot of it so far, Crouch, but that one, not a memorable one. John Noble, the leading ball winner on the ground with 12. As Campbell wins it down. Big pack of players around it. Crouch in there, as well as a few others, and that ball not coming out. Crouch has got 10 disposals. Schoenmaker 9. He's been really impressive so far. The young man from Tasmania, who in reality would have been a much higher draft pick if not for some off-the-field and character concerns. A lot of people thinking the Saints might have gotten a steal there. Ball still in congestion. Garcia able to get it out. Interesting looking handball over the top from Allen. Trying to work his way through his long. Was given a long time by the umpire. And now it's locked up.
So ball up here on the outer side. This is a dangerous spot here for the Zebras. They'll be looking to get a clearance as Campbell knocks it to the foot of the pack. Crouch got involved there but couldn't quite get it going forward. Garcia laying a great tackle. And we'll get a repeat stoppage. Garcia's been super impressive. Some big raps on him. What he can do. He's going to impress here at VFL level first. Campbell with the clearance, and they go out wide. The Zebs started to move it, but Noble picked the pocket. He lines up. He loads up from about 48. But it went wide, and it's a behind. So 5-2 now, 32. The Pies only trail by 1.
Not a big goal kicker, Johnny Noble, but when he gets to the 50, he's going to fancy his chances more often than not as the breeze carries that one out on the full. Vitel's going to send it straight back. Short lead offered by Johnson in the pocket, but Vitel wants to go more central. After a nervous moment, McLennan's able to hang on. He's been solid in defence for the Zebras so far today as Heath crashes the pack. And we'll get a stoppage. Max Heath spending a lot more time forward today with, of course, Campbell being the number 1 ruckman. From the restart. Allen just hooks it around, trying to get it as far forward as he can, but McLennan takes a brave mark in the hold.
Great work by McLennan in defence. He's really putting a game together here across the back. He finds Schoenmakers, and they'll look to switch it here, and Callow will take an easy, uncontested mark. This is the difficult kick, though. Keller's got to make some options. Schoenmaker's presented in the middle of the ground, but he elected to go out wide, and they find a target out there in McNabb. He goes to Schoenmaker's, then they go through a series of hand passes, really out wide, and it'll go out over the line. It's going to be a Collingwood kick here, so dropping the ball was the call. It's on the outer side. The Pies will look to bring it in, and they do. Nice centering kick there. Pack flies as Zebras at the back. The ball will bobble over the line. It'll beat everybody. And all of a sudden we have a tie ball game. The Zebras were out to 31 points at one stage, and now it's all tied at 5-3 apiece, 33.
Left of screen, very much the scoring end today, it appears. Docking will fly for it. In fact, that was Young. Tackle laid by Hipwell on Allen. Crouch can't keep it in. Darby Hipwell, fantastic season last year. 19 disposals and 4 tackles a game. Won the Sandy B&F, as I mentioned earlier. And he's only 22 years old. 21, in fact. As it's sent forward for the Pies by Sparks. Couple to contend with there for Hutchinson. He did well, but no, he did really well, actually. Won himself the free kick. Incorrect disposal on McLennan. And he's going to go back and kick for his first. No, for his second, I should say. So as Todd mentioned earlier, big raps on this young man out of Wonthaggi. 22 years old, 190 centimetres. He's hung that one well out to the right, and the breeze won't bring it back anywhere near enough.
So a little tricky one there. Tried to hang it out as Keller brings it in short, but this one's almost turned over. It's turned over in the end. The snap comes from Johnson, and he kicks the goal. Takes advantage of the Zebras' mistake. The Sandringham just not getting it done at the moment, and it's been a really tricky end to bring the ball out of that wind, just holding those kicks up. Players just not adjusted to the conditions just as yet, and Collingwood now take the lead. They lead by 6, and all day the Zebras have led, and now Collingwood have their time in the lead.
Yep, if you just joined us, Anthony Caminiti kicked his second goal about halfway through that opening term to put the Zebs up by 31 points, but since then it has been all Collingwood. 6 straight goals to the Pies since then. And they now lead it by a kick. And that'll be a much needed boost to Ash Johnson's confidence. Very quiet last week in the AFL, as we mentioned earlier, just the 3 disposals before being subbed off. And that should do him the world of good as we get a recalled bounce. Big with the leap. Sullivan. Handball over the top was so clever, but cut off by Hipwell, and the Zebras go forward. Caminiti on a searching lead. Sofronides trailing him. Caminiti wins it on the ground, but he's set upon immediately by his former teammate, Jack Bytel.
Clearance numbers at the moment, Collingwood leading 19-9. That was one of the things that the Zebs did well early, but now Collingwood really picking them back and getting on top at the contest as Campbell is going to be awarded the free kick here. So ball's going to come back to Campbell's, a ruck infringement there for holding. Let's see what he can manufacture here. A goal would be handy here for the Zebs. Campbell looking, just puts it into the corridor. Noble got across there, creative fist. Now Collingwood, they can get away with this one. Now Sullivan got the hand pass to Allen, and he got the clearing kick, but Keller was back there. He's played a brilliant game with his intercept marking so far in this one. Keller gets it on the right boot, but just not a great kick. It's turned over, and Wilson will have it. He'll get the hand pass going and moving it to Bytel, and then they'll flick it over the top. That handball over the back was too creative, but here's Schoenmakers. He's had plenty of it It's like he's brought his own football, the young fella, on his VFL debut. Now they'll come out wide to the wing. Great hit there, good find in O'Leary. Tarkin O'Leary, his community club is Noble Park. O'Leary will go into the pocket. Campbell camping under it, tries to take a strong mark. Ball to the front of the pack. And it was just out over the line. We're going to get a boundary throw and inside 50 for the Zebs.
Jack Higgins would probably call that one in, but we'll have it tossed in just inside 50 for the Zebras. They trail it by a goal after kicking the first 5 of the game. Very little doing inside forward 50 in this second term. Of course, it should be said, there is a little bit of a breeze going towards the left of screen if you've just joined us. Sullivan able to get the hands free by Tell. Allen needs support, gets it in long, but he's set upon. Turnover ensues. Kick towards goal. He's going to be cut off by Ryan, who does that very well. He's just going to poke it short to Noble. Wanting to work the outer side. Carmichael found some space. And now they can link up. Long, over the top, Sofronides almost won a spot on the Pies AFL list over the summer. Instead, finds himself playing for the VFL side instead. Show and make up. O'Leary. Wants Crouch short, but that's plugged up. Giath just taps it forward cleverly. Sullivan, Ryan, tried to take on the tackler. And Butler got him.
Beautiful tackle there by Butler to win his team possession. Brilliant work. He's looking to play on early here, but he's just going to go back and assess his options. He just gives himself a tough kick. He was tucked against the boundary line. Big fly, the pack fly, but it didn't drop. Now, Paul Kahan, centering kick. That was lovely. Delivered that one on a dinner plate. Great setup there. He could have got greedy and blazed away, but he just saw the option in the corridor. And a brilliant setup play there. And now Hasty has it. Angus Hasty in front of goal. Pick number 33 this year for the Saints. Geelong Falcons boy. Let's see if he can deliver this one. It's a good kick, but it's to the left, and it'll be a behind. So Sandy move ahead now, 5-4-34.
First score of the term for the Zebras. As Dean brings it back into play. To the pack. Begg first hands on it. McLennan almost cleaned up. Went back and won it. Then struggled to break free, and the ball lodged in there. Schoenmaker now the leading ball winner on the ground. 15 disposals over Noble with 14 and Sullivan with 13. Over the top of it, Houghton tried to claim a free kick for holding. None forthcoming. Turned over. The Zebras having a moment here. McNabb high ball. Campbell's going to camp underneath it, and he was held. This breeze probably a bit too far out to score. He tries to place the kick. No one able to read it in flight. And is that going to be paid? It is. Glover dishes it off. Long. It's just going to set lane back a little bit and allow the Zebras to get back in numbers. Mulvogue now. Searing ball finds its target. High ball, top of the square. Plenty of numbers there. At the back. Handball clever. Dribbling shot. Not going to have the journey, and the Zebras can reload out of defence. Dangerous ball. Won by Harrison, who tried to create something out of nothing and ended up creating nothing out of nothing.
Logan Young to bring it in here for Sandringham. Looking down the line at an option here. The safe kick. Puts it up. It gets held up in the breeze. It's going to go to the front of the pack. Crouch was there. He read it really well, front and centre. Got the hand pass away. Now he'll come back up in the air. Crouch will fight for it, then wrapping up in a tackle. That was good. He'll get another possession and the feeding hand pass out wide, but it was just bobbled there by McNabb. He didn't get a full purchase on the footy, and he was then wrapped up. And we're going to get a ball up here just outside 50 for the Pies. Begg won that tap, got it to Sullivan. Sullivan tried to work into some space. There was a hurried kick. Then he got the tackle away, and it was probably caught high, and it's going to come back. Well, they'll pay advantage. No, they're going to bring it all the way back. So Zagari across half back. He'll elect to go the short option, but he was told to come back over the mark. They'll bring it all the way back. And he's likely to go exactly where he had it. No, he's thinking about another option. Instead, he elects to play on. Works around on the left boot. Searing kick there and a good target finder. And the Zebs can link up here. Now they come in with the handball. Kick into Collard. He went for the fly, but just couldn't quite in the end. Noble picked it up. He went out wide with the hand pass. The old 1-2. He got it back and then went out wide to the wing, but taking the mark out there was Zagari. Zagari got the hand pass away. Schoenmakers now with the centering kick. That was fisted away. Now trying to pick it up there was Heath. Heath was caught in a tackle. Tried to get it away, but couldn't. Now Collingwood get the clearance, and they're out here in the middle. Here's Carmichael. Carmichael's got an option over the top, puts it out in front there for Hutchinson. Hutchinson's got to get some legs, but he won't have the legs to get there, and it'll be a behind. Carmichael scoring the behind. Collingwood now 6-4-40, 5-4-34. Sandringham.
Just a little bit too much on the kick there from Carmichael, but the idea was correct. Kick in to be taken by McLennan. See the left shoulder strapped. Had to deal with a major shoulder injury last season. Restricted him to only 5 Smithy's VFL games in his first year on the Saints list. Schoenmaker, 17 disposals, 7 marks. He's giving Ross Lyons something to think about for sure. Noble 16, Sullivan 15, Carmichael 13, Brad Crouch also 13 are the leading ball winners on the ground. Ball in congestion. Well done not to get high on the tackle there by Long. Garcia just gets a handball away. Harrison forces the turnover with the tackle. Ryan, Wilson. Too far out to score, you suspect, for those 31-year-old legs. Harrison calling for it in the pocket. Takes the mark.
We'll soon find out if that was the right option. He was definitely open. It was the short kick, but tough pocket to kick goals from this one, especially with the breeze that's coming across the face.
52nd pick in the 2021 AFL draft. Broke through for 4 AFL games last season. This is going to be a difficult kick, but he has made it look easy. Harvey Harrison kicks a brilliant goal.
Just hung that one out there nicely and let the wind and let the footy do the shape. And it just shaped back in nicely. That was great and brilliant work. Well, the accuracy of kicking here this afternoon, I reckon
don't jinx it.
I reckon the ball chip might have the tick of approval from the clubs at the moment. Obviously, they've done plenty of work making sure the weighting of it's right, and to get to this testing stage, it had to pass through a lot of hands and a lot of kicks, a lot of boots. And here it is being tested today.
Yeah, a couple of videos on how that was all done on afl.com.au. Would highly recommend that anyone watches that, because it is a fascinating process. 18 months of work, and we get to today, the first time used in a game situation, Todd.
It's fantastic stuff to see where this game is going, the data that will be taken from that, and how that can improve the game. Well, we're back to the middle here at RSEA Park. Campbell went up for it. Will come down here. Garcia trying to get involved. Getting across there and nicely. Their little hand pass over the top from Sparks, but it was to a man in the zebra jumper. Now they'll get it going forward again. Sparks just put that ball up to the top of the square. It's going to be a battle here. Fist comes over the top, and it's going to go out of bounds. It's going to be a boundary throw in deep inside. Forward 50 here for Collingwood. 27 minutes almost ticking over to 27 minutes in this second term.
Just the one behind for the Zebras. The Pies have piled on 5 goals, 3, and they're in a dangerous position to kick another. Beck dispossessed his opponent. Ball in congestion, almost a kick away. O'Leary needs to put his head over it. Hutchinson just wanted a little bit more. Dribbles it towards goal, but Schoenmaker on the goal line. Tried to do a little bit too much. Ball in dispute. And is anyone going to be paid the mark? No. Campbell tries to just spank it away. Richards, strong hands. Mark not paid. Found a little bit of space where there was none and then missed.
So play to get back underway here. It's going to be Schoenmakers. He'll elect to go short. Finds his target there in Seaton. Seaton and Hippo, the co-captains this season for Sandringham. And he'll go down the line with the kick. Little fist over the back there. Sofronides just got it going forward. Great hand pass out wide, but couldn't quite get it moving. O'Leary tried to get it, and he got it going forward for the Zebras here. They'll get the clearing kick. Coming back there was Ryan, and backing into the pack was Heath. That was courageous because he got it to the foot of the pack and gave his teammate an opportunity at it. But it's locked up, and we're going to get a ball up here.
Mr. Leafy Faimalo on the bottom of that pack. 11 games last year in the VFL for Richmond. Moves across to the Zebras for season 2024. Harrison spots Noble in the corridor. And he goes further in field. Richards takes a few steps to 50. The kick looks good. It's missing. Just hooked it a little bit too much.
I'd have spoken a bit too soon there, Peps, on the accuracy this afternoon.
I told you not to jinx it.
You were right there. And here's Schoenmakers. He'll bring it in. He's a fantastic kick of the footy. He won't let me down, but this one he goes for the safe kick, looking for Big Campbell, who flies at the back of the pack. Ball went to the front. There's multiple touches on it. Mark wasn't paid. Now they'll look to clear it away here, and they do throw O'Leary. He brings it to a 2-on-1, though. Was he held in the contest? Managed to get to the front. Umpire's going to have a tough time at paying this one. Instead, he just pays holding the ball, as they both had pretty good possession on it. It was tough to pay man in front on that one. So ball up here, broadcast side. Right in front of the Collingwood bench as Campbell pulls it out of the ruck and gets it going forward. And Collingwood with the clearance here through Jyth. He finds Noble. Noble with a great kick. Good finder there to go out wide as they build up play. Bytel then hit another target on the wing. He'll come back into Bytel. He'll get it back here. Bytel going into the centre of the ground. That had to be accurate, and it was, to find Long. He got the hand pass off to Allen. Allen then with a little hand pass over to Richards. Then he had the little nice set-up kick there to find Harrison. And Harvey Harrison will go back and take a shot at goal. 24 goals last season in the VFL for Harvey Harrison. No stranger to the goals. Managed 28 games last season. And he'll want to just hang this out to the right goalpost and let it come back in as he just marches in. Nice, calm run up. He does exactly that, but it comes back. There's a little too much on it, and that will be a behind. So 7-7-49, Sandringham, 5-4-34.
Schoenmaker up to 20 disposals, and he'll get another one here as he leaves the goal square. Campbell camped underneath it. Sofronides with the fist. O'Leary through traffic nicely, and Caminiti just bangs it forward, hoping for the best, but all he gets is Noble. He chips it in board. This is Richards, who's come into the game in the last 5 or 10 minutes. Short to Giath. NGA product of the Hawks, but the Pies swooped in at pick number 37 in last year's draft, ensuring the Hawks couldn't match a bid. That's a well-weighted kick. Johnson couldn't hang on. Sandringham defence under siege in this second term, and they get out of danger through Hawker Hahn.
Hulkahan here. He'll elect to go out wide, but it's dangerous. Carmichael bursting through. That was a big hit in the end. The free kick will be awarded. He thought that was fair.
Didn't get him high. The umpire called it in the back.
Zebras to go out wide. That beats everybody and triples out over the line. Sandringham just really struggling to build an attack at the moment. Their last goal was in the 15-minute mark of the first quarter. Since then, they've gone on a goal drought. And they now trail in this one. And it looks like they've got numbers stacked behind the footy, trying to defend that win as they close out this quarter. 32 minutes gone here in the second term. Not long left, you'd assume. And that one gets wrapped up by Allen, and we'll get a ball up here, broadcast side.
Yep, their last goal came at the 15-minute mark of the opening term, and that was Caminiti's second, as the siren does sound, finally, from a Sandringham perspective, for half-time. Collingwood trailed it by 20 points at quarter time, but they lead it now by 15 after a 5-goal-to-none second term. On AFL.com.au and the AFL Live official app, here's Todd Morris to get us underway in the third term.
A nice true bounce there as Begg and Campbell go at it. The ball comes straight down to the end of the pack. Campbell hovered over it, couldn't quite get it away. Hand pass comes out and the clearing kick to the Zebs by Houghton. It's a hot footy. It's in the back line here. Nobody going at the footy just yet. The tap was come out there, picked up nicely by Collard as he snaps and looks at goal, but it's behind. The Zebs will open their account with a behind. Still have not scored a goal since the 15-minute mark of the first term. Looking for that elusive one to get back into this game.
They are going with the breeze in quarter number 3. That left of screen, which is the northern end of the ground, is the scoring end today. As Glover looks to just send it long up the line, but a few players have been caught out by that today, and Glover just the latest victim. So it's going to be Keeler, who's looked good playing in defence after spending last year as a forward. Sends it long into the pocket, but Glover is going to hang on after a nervy moment. First 5 goals of the game to the Zebras, the last 7 to the Pies. As the ball is off hands over the boundary line. Todd just saw Laura Kane in the crowd. Looks like she's making her way up. Of course, the ball tracking technology being used for the, well, trialled, I should say, for the first time in a game situation. A number of AFL clubs had the chance to use it over pre-season, and the best part of that is that the players said they couldn't feel a difference between the smart ball and the normal ball. So that's a good sign, and I'm sure they'll get plenty of feedback about how it's working today, as we're going to get it thrown in. Inside forward 50 for Sandy. Campbell with the front position. Palms it down, but only as far as Bytel, who then turns it over. Butler looking for some space. Is Hulkahan. Doesn't get enough on it, or does he? No, Sofronides saves the day with the fist.
Quite interesting numbers at the moment, with Sandringham just dominating the hitouts 29-8, but however, Collingwood with managing the clearances 23-16. So Campbell dominating a lot of those hitouts. They're just not transferring into clearances at the moment for the Zebs, as Collingwood bring this one back in. Charlie Dean tucked into the pocket. He elects to go, or he shaped up to go down the line and then went short to Jacob Ryan, and he points down the line and he goes short. So little tactic there from the Pies. Fake one thing, go the other. Here's Bytel, tucked against the boundary line. That's a nice kick to find Sullivan. He plucked it out of the air. Now Sullivan looking for options. He thinking about going short, but now it looks he's going to go long. Noble trying to get free, couldn't. In the protected zone there, surely, but he's been asked to play on. Goes back to Ryan. He lowers the eyes and goes short, but it's turned over. Now they'll come in. Here's Garcia. Garcia kept his feet really well to get the hand pass away. They'll go inside 50 here, but the Pies have got their numbers back, and that will be a mark by Glover. Glover going short, finding his target there in Sofronides. He'll go to Noble, and Noble will go out wide, and the Pies will look to generate attack.
That they will, using the outer side of the ground. Allen, in fact, that's Harrison, able to get the handball away. Now Hutchinson, who's led a long way up the ground. Inboard kick good for Allen. Calling for it in the corridor is Bytel, but it's going to be cut off by Zagari. Just couldn't gain possession, and now the Pies can go the other way. Richards has support in the form of Bytel. Needs to think his way through the inside 50 kick, and it's just a little bit wide for Carmichael. Just gotten word in the last hour or two that Mason Wood is going to miss 6 weeks with a broken collarbone and concussion from that big hit last night. Max King's been suspended for a week, and Liam Henry may be in some doubt for next week. So spots to be won in the St Kilda side as Bytel shapes up and almost sneaks it home. It clips the post on the way through. So, Todd, a lot of chance for these guys out there for Sandringham today to stake their claim for next week.
Certainly is for both sides, I guess, but always great stories coming out of the VFL. You don't know who's watching and who's on show as McClellan goes out wide. That will be turned over, though. Dean went forward with the hand pass. Now they go out wide here. Collingwood just on the edge of 50, looking to generate something with an inside 50. Inside 50 count at the moment. Pretty even with Sandringham with 29. Now Collingwood with 31 as they find a short target here on the boundary. And again, just shaping up to go wide is Harrison, but in two minds whether he's going to have a shot. He just settles now. It ends up being a kick to the top of the square. Good kick in the end. The pack flies, but it'll spill out over the back of the line. And it'll be a boundary throw in deep inside 50 here for Collingwood. Just play it down at the moment there behind play. Maybe Johnson clutching at his hand.
From the restart, Allen couldn't maintain control. Hasty likes to take them on out of defence. This one a bit safer for Schoenmaker, who's been terrific so far today. 21 disposals and 7 marks as you see the pinpoint foot skills to Hall Kahan. Playing his first game as a Zebra after being delisted by the Sydney Swans last year. And the Zebras will build patiently.
Looks like Johnson's going to be pulled from the ground with a hand complaint. Physio's come out and got him off the ground.
Worrying sign for him. Play does go on. This is Hipwell. Long to the hot spot. Caminiti well placed, but bodied out of it at just the crucial moment, and it bounces harmlessly through for a minor score.
Just keeping an eye on Johnson there. The way he's nursing that hand, I reckon there could be something broken in there, but I'm no doctor. But just the way, the shape, the way he held it, and when he was running, it looked very sore. He'll get some treatment, and he may be brought back into this game. He's one looking to get back into the AFL system. Campbell underneath it. What a strong mark by Tom Campbell. 125 VFL games for Big Campbell, and he sticks that one back into the corridor. Fist comes over the back here. Front of the pack, picked up nicely there, Will Long, and he went with the hand pass, but it's going to go out over the line. Sandringham forward line, throw it.
Dominating the territory at the moment, the Zebras, but unable to convert it to any real scoring opportunities just yet. Heath with the front position. Leaving it behind, then winning it back is Long. Just kicks it high and blindly, and McLennan says thank you very much. He's had a good game so far, McLennan. Been really impressive across half back. He and Schoenmaker have been the standouts as Seaton sends it wide. Schoenmaker again with that lethal left. Dean puts the fist on it. Hall Kahan trying to keep it in bounds. Did, but only momentarily. 13-point ball game in favour of the Pies. No goals yet in this third term.
Bit of a stalemate early as both teams just trying to get some clear possession, trying to get some outside run. But both teams doing a great job in negating that. That ball's held up in the wind. It's going to be a short boundary throw in. Fist over the top from Collard. Got it down. That shot at goal will come, but it'll go wide. It'll actually go out of bounds on the full. Dean will bring it in here for Collingwood. So, a high-pressure game here in this one. A lot of tackles are mounting. Tackle count at the moment, Sandringham 44, Collingwood 57. So a lot of hotly contested footy. The wings tend to be rather shallow here at RSEA Park as Dean puts that into the pack. Flying there, just couldn't quite get it. Hand pass comes out from Hasty. Now it bobbles around, just attacking the footy. Noble picking it up. He's had plenty of it today, has Noble. He goes out wide and building play through Lane. The captain gets a kick to go out wide. Can Collingwood mount an attack here with the switch? They go down the line. Mark wasn't taken. Picked up here by the Zebras. They'll look to come in board. They do. Great hit in the end. So Hall Kahan goes into the corridor, but there's Sofronides. Was able to float into the drop zone and pick up the footy. He'll go out wide and Collingwood will restart.
That's Lane sending it further wide. Now back inboard to Lane. Noble wants it short, but Caminiti clogging that up. Now the lead offered and hit to Sparks. Making his Smithies VFL debut today, Ryan Sparks. Lane will get another opportunity. Giath plays on, gets around a couple of Zebras, and the foot skills were good. And they're inside 50 now, the Pies. High ball into the pocket. McLennan went to ground at the crucial moment. Goal coming up as Kennedy finishes it off.
What's really going to hurt Sandringham, that goal coming against the scoring end, going against the wind. Collingwood just did those right things, kept the ball going forward, just kept it moving, continued to find targets, and then a good finish at the end, Kennedy. But just to give you an update on that injury news, it looks like Ash Johnson is about to return to the game. He has that hand heavily taped up, and he's just giving a little test before he comes back on. So that's good news for the Pies.
Very much so. Pies already lacking in key forward depth with Dan McStay out for a long period of time. And they don't want to lose another one. So that's 8 goals in a row now to Collingwood after Sandy kicked the first 5.
Back to the middle here. Sandringham are really going to get something going at the coalface. Both rucks go at it. Paul just drops to the front of the pack. Trying to get through his hip well. Manages to get it going forward there by Heath. But Jayath, he just comes through the middle. 2, he got it away. Now they're building. Here comes Sullivan. He goes with hands to Long. Long just loops one over the top. They'll look to go back to back here, and they do. They get another straight away, the Pies. This is looking good. They're starting to dominate. They had a quiet start to the game, but since then, it's just been a flurry of goals. The goal kicker there was Joe Richards, finishing beautifully. There's danger signs now here for Sandringham.
Certainly is. What's that? 9 in a row now to Collingwood. And Sandringham actually kicking with the breeze in this third term. You wouldn't know it with the way it's gone so far.
Two goals this afternoon for Joe Richards. He's starting to cash in here with the runner play.
Yep, definitely alarm bells starting to go off for Jake Batchelor, who's coaching the Zebras for his 4th season. As we get underway in the middle, Purcell and Heath. Zagari had it for a moment, then lost it, and the Pies are going to go forward again through Harrison. Johnson one-on-one. Keeler read it better in flight, but Johnson's going to get the opportunity on the ground. Centering ball just doesn't quite get to Kennedy. He'll win it on the ground, Kennedy, but wrapped up immediately.
Good second effort there by Kennedy. Just couldn't burst through, but they'll get the stoppage inside 50 nonetheless. Ball thrown up here. Battle away. It's going to be a free kick here. It's going to be a Collingwood free kick too. Looks like Ned Long is going to be awarded the kick. No, in fact, it was Purcell, Liam Purcell. Local boy there, St. Paul McKinnon. He's going to line up for a shot at goal. His way in. And there it is. Collingwood get another. That's now 10 in a row. Josh Fraser getting it going for his team. They have all the momentum here. 10-8-68, 5-7-37 Sandringham. That goal drought is still existent from the 15-minute mark in the first term.
Irish Schoenmaker up to 24 disposals, 22 of those kicks. So that reeks of a player who knows his strengths and uses it, which is good to see. He's taken 10 marks as well. Brad Crouch next up with 14 for the Zebras, although we haven't seen any of him in this third term. Perhaps a minute's restriction for the prolific St Kilda midfielder. Tom Campbell also 14, McLennan 13 for Collingwood. Noble has 24, Sullivan 18, Bytel 17 and Long 16. As we can see, a few of the Collingwood VFLW players getting ready to go. Of course, this just the first game in a massive season opening doubleheader. Rebel VFLW coming up next. That one gets underway at 7 after the conclusion of this game. Schoenmaker now spending some time in the middle. Zagari trying to break a couple of tackles and unable to do so. 31 points is the Collingwood lead. That was Sandringham's biggest lead in the opening term. And since then, it's been all Collingwood. Hipwell trying to turn the tide, but he's handballed it straight to Purcell. Bouncing ball inside 50. Seaton did really well. The captain, as always, doesn't quite hit the mark by foot, though. Richards a chance. Allen. High ball into the pocket. Numbers underneath it. Play on, says the umpire, and won't get a resolution there.
No resolution at the moment. Campbell's back in the ruck here for Sandringham. Only had a brief time on the bench, but he's definite for this team. He needs to be on at the moment. They look to get the clearance here. They do through Ryan. It's a big high ball out into the wing. The one-on-one contest is won in the end there by Dean, but no, it was play on. And the ball went out over the line. I thought he'd taken that, but it went out. We'll get a boundary thrown on the outer side here. Just coming up to 17 minutes played here in the third term. If you've just tuned in, Sandringham kicked the first 5 and then Collingwood have had the last 10. Campbell in the ruck, just got that down to the front. Then the clearance from Sandringham. They get it going forward, looking for Collard. He's in a 1-on-2 situation. The ball is going to get over the boundary line first, and it'll be a throw-in. It's a kind of a win for Sandringham as they get some territory, and they're able to flood forward now and hopefully lock it into this area of the ground.
They trail it by 31 points. First game of season 2024 in the Smithies VFL. Frankston and Williamstown will be doing battle down the Pean Highway. That one gets underway at 7:30. Big standalone clash to come tonight in the Smithies VFL. A full round in the VFL, just the one team on bye. That's Essendon, I believe, as Zagari sends it inside 50. Off hands, Hasty, one way then the other. And the drought has been broken.
Super goal there by Hasty, working his way to the front of the pack, getting some space, and then finishing there. Hasn't been too many nominations for a Smithy snag, but I reckon that could possibly be one of them, the way he just kept his composure, got into the space and just bent that around the body. This is a beautiful goal. Great sign of a player who knows where the goal's up.
Especially for someone who's played a lot of his footy down back. He looks a natural crummer in that situation.
So back to the middle here. Sandringham got to get something going. They've thrown Garcia in there. So it'll be Garcia, Campbell, Hipwell. And again, as you said, possible minutes restriction for Crouch. Has not played a lot of part in this game in the latter stages. Be interesting to see if he gets put through. No official word on his status. Tap one by Begg. Campbell got it off the ground, got the hand pass going forward. Great tackle there by Sparks, and play will restart here in the middle of the ground. Positive signs there from Sandy. Just had it going forward. Campbell's been battling hard all day as he wins another hit out. They've just got to get it going to advantage and get those hit outs translating into clearances, which they haven't done. It's a free kick here. They will get their clearance here. So ball into the middle. Young sends it going forward. Great defence in the end. It's fisted out over the back. Collingwood looking at mop up here. Noble overran the footy. Jyth with the half tackle. Topo came out of nowhere, but it was a behind. Sandringham now move forward to 6-8-44. Collingwood 10-8-68. Pies to bring it in.
Time on now, third term, and if you're Josh Fraser, you'd be thinking this quarter has gone perfectly. They've added 3 goals, only conceded the 1, with Sandy going to the scoring end. So Noble hoiks it high, but we have a whistle. Going against Carmichael? No, to Carmichael. No, against Carmichael. Just maybe a bit too aggressive on the block, trying to keep Campbell out of the contest. And now we've got another whistle. It's going to be downfield. So Sandy are going to get a shot at 2 in a row. It's going to be Heath to take the shot. Not too sure what happened there, but it results in a shot at goal for Max Heath. Playing mostly permanent forward today, with Campbell so dominant in the ruck. So in skips the Big Moose. We're right behind it. And he drives it through. 2 in a row for the Zebras. Margin back to 18 points.
It's definitely a pulse for Sandringham at the moment. They have got the scoring end. It's going to be a mighty tough task to breach this gap with not long left in this quarter. You're going to have to do it the hard way and go against the wind here in the last, or when the last happens. So back to the middle. Hit outs at the moment. Tom Campbell with 24 against his opponents. Liam Purcell with 7 and Aiden Begg with 5. Just been dominating them, but they just haven't been get it going forward. So Young and Garcia and Schoenmakers are in the middle. What can Campbell do here? It's got to start from their engine room. Garcia and Schoenmakers both on debut, both draft picks, being trusted with a job to be in the middle at a crucial moment in the game. Begg won the tap on that occasion. Sullivan going out just with the left foot kick there. Goes it out wide. Mark's taken. And it'll be Lane, the captain. He goes out wider again. And Collingwood using a lot of width to the ground. They have done that quite regularly today. They'll go inboard to find Allen. Pretty decent user of the footy is Allen. And then he gets a lovely pass out wide. Again, they're just building play nicely here. One to come into the corridor. Puck flies at the back. There was no grab there. Zebras looking to come away with it. Garcia got the hand pass going. If Sandringham can get this kick out and accurate, they could be away here. Ryan comes across. That was good. Got a hand to it. Ryan now looking to pick it up, head over the footy, but he's happy to see it out over the line. There's appeals for deliberate. The umpire paid it. Yeah, those appeals were successful. So Oliver Lowe will bring it in. Put it into a dangerous area. Puck flies and Heath will take the mark. Got a couple of options here. Heath puts it to the top of the square. And there it is, the grab. He's going to play on. But he missed the behind. You've got to go back and take that, Zagari. Take your time.
It either wasn't paid or he didn't realise he had been paid it. It was one or the other. But the result is a behind nonetheless, as Noble. Disposal number 25 coming up. That'll make him equal best on the ground with Ari Schoenmaker. Sullivan's up to 19. Bytel 18. Allen 17. Long 16 for the Pies. Campbell 15. Crouch 14, who we haven't seen in a while. McLennan and Hipwell each with 13. Chance for the Zebras to clear, but the pressure from Collingwood really good. Dangerous handball. Lane had to sit underneath it and cop whatever punishment was coming his way. And it was Butler careening into him with a strong tackle. The Zebs have got it where they want it though. Inside 50. Not for long though as Sullivan bangs it out of the area. Hartman couldn't quite get to it. Keeler, low, through congestion. O'Leary, high ball inside 50. Can Caminiti get there? Not quite. Good defence by Glover. And we'll have it tossed in. 25 minutes gone in quarter number 3. The Pies have added 3 goals to their halftime score. The Saints, the Zebras I should say, 2. Quick snap out of congestion from Butler. Top of the square. Faimalo couldn't get a hold of it. And that's a rush behind. 2 goals, 6 for the term for Sandringham.
Just unable to get the major at the moment is Sandringham. It's going to be a tough task as Noble brings it into the pocket. That one was tucked in there. Glover will take it. Butler was brought to his knees after the hit. Glover goes short to Ryan. Jacob Ryan in the pocket here. He's happy to just hold on to it as long as possible. As we just tick into the 26-minute mark. It's a high ball. Begg flying at it. So's Heath. He takes the second grab. He's paid the mark. Beautiful stuff here from Heath. He's starting to lift in the forward line for the Zebras. He gets it off to Keller. Keller puts it to the top of the square. It's got a little bit of legs on it, but it's going to go to the pack. Gets fisted away. Snap, but no, it will hit the post. Faimalo with the behind. The Zebs rack up another behind.
2 goals, 7 now for the term. They trail it by 15. Ryan, long and wide again. Heath unable to take the mark this time. Allen scoops it up towards Sullivan, who's dived on it. Might be in trouble here. Umpire letting it go. Eventually it breaks free. Ryan touched off the boot. Giath had a fumble and then got too high on the tackle. It's going to be Tarkin O'Leary to try and steady the ship for Sandringham. Late third term. This one would be massive heading into three-quarter time because they've dominated the last 10 or so minutes but haven't been able to take full advantage on the scoreboard. O'Leary kicked a brilliant goal from the boundary line on debut last year for Sandringham. This one more regulation and he's hung it out to the right. That's 2-8 for the term now for the Zebras.
Yeah, those 8 behinds, they're going to look back at the review and this quarter could cost them at the moment. Only 2 goals, 8 here. They've got to get that going well for them.
3-1 for the Pies, for the record.
They'll bring it in, they'll come down the line, bit of contact. Keller's going to fly, but he flew early. There's Heath, he had it at the front. Couldn't quite get it, they'll wrap up here. We're going to get a ball up. So 28 minutes played here in the third term. Heath in the ruck contest, got front position. Grabbed it, then tried to get the hand pass away. It was a tough task. Trying to get it going forward was low. His kick was smothered. The ball's going to be locked in again. Get another ball up.
Can't be far from the three-quarter time siren. Heath claimed immediately by Purcell. We'll get a repeat stoppage. Noble up to 26 for the Pies. Schoenmaker still leading Sandringham with 25. Low up and under kick. Campbell had it spoiled by his teammate in the end. Ends up with it. Able to get the hands free, but Faimalo had a fumble, and now Campbell's on the ground and not getting up.
Canberra's numbers in this game has been fantastic. 15 disposals, 11 kicks, but an impressive 26 hit-outs as Heath will have the ruck duty. Campbell just resting forward at the moment. That one was won by the Pies. Allen got the big high kick, but it's going to sail over the Sandringham bench. They'll get to bring it in. It's going to be low. So this kick's got to be a smart one. He's going to try and find something. Just goes with a lower kick, but it's coming across. Good intercept mark. And the Pies will have the play out of their back line. They'll look to, again, go down the line. Getting under that one. Keller at the back of the packs. Low overran it. Hampars tried to come out from Young, but he was wrapped up and caught up. And again, Pies happy just to keep it in this area and repeat stoppages. It's going to be a free kick awarded to Sandringham here. There was a little bit of afters going on. It's going to be Hipwell to take the kick. Hipwell's looking to switch the play, finds Keller. This is smart if they can just get it going fast enough. Here's Seaton. He goes into the middle. Showmakers has got a brilliant left boot. He finds a target out wide. This is looking better. They'll look to build up play here. Hasty looked at goal. It's going to be out of bounds on the full. And again, that was probably just a wasted kick. There might have been something a little bit lower on the eyes.
A little bit of an experience shown there from Hasty as Ryan to take the resultant free kick. Just pokes it short and able to just keep it inside the field of play. Short ball from Dean. Now it's the Pies' turn to play tempo footy. To the pack. Seaton at the back. Missed the ball, and the Pies have numbers running towards goal. This could be devastating for the Zebras on the rebound. Harrison, the gather was clean. Burns off a couple of opponents. Gives it back. Centering ball to Carmichael. He'll want his right boot. Gives it off. And they've thought their way through this beautifully, Collingwood. It's going to be Tom Wilson to line them up.
You're exactly right with that comment. They did think their way through that one beautifully. They just kept finding targets, kept going forward. It was real easy for Carmichael to blaze away there, but he made the right decision, bring the ball back into the corridor. Then they found that option, and great work for Wilson to get open, and now he gets rewarded with a shot on goal.
So the veteran of 155 VFL games. He spent time at Carlton, the Northern Bull Ants, and this is his second season at Collingwood. Arcs out to the right, and that's where the kick goes. Just a minor score.
Just didn't quite have the finish there, did Wilson. Schoenmaker's the young fella on debut. He's been awarded to bring in the kick-ins, and look at that lovely boot. Gets plenty of purchase and distance. There's going to be a free kick here for a block in the contest. It's going to be Low awarded with the footy. Sandringham will want to get it moving pretty quickly as we're about to get into the 33rd minute. Low just sticks it on the boot, but it's a 3-on-1. Ryan getting across. Couldn't quite get it. The ball out over the line. Sofronidis was there as in space. Ryan ended up spoiling his own teammate in Sofronidis. We'll get a throw in here. So everybody pushes forward. Heath in the ruck. Schoenmaker's at his feet. He's looking for an opponent now. Heath won the tap, come to the front of the pack. Heath went up back with it. He just hurried the kick, got it on the boot. Noble picked it up cleanly. He tries to run it out of the back line. Got caught, went back with a hand pass. That's going to be appeals for deliberate, and it'll be paid. So the Zebs can build something here. Here's Keller. And there it is. That's the siren for the third term. Well, it was a costly third term. Sandringham just couldn't get it between the big sticks. They kicked plenty behinds in that one. They trailed this one 7-12, 54, Collingwood. Corridor, fisted away. Zebras looking to pounce on this one. Zagari got the kick. Ryan was there to collect, but it went over his head. Jayath with it now. Dodgers good around one. Got it to Sullivan with hands. He lowers his eyes, and Zagari was back there with another possession. He's racked them up nicely here in the last term.
He's having a good game. Became a regular last season in this Zebras lineup. Did Vince Zagari. Plays his local footy at Baldwin. Hipwell, who's linked to old Brighton in the VFL. Long up the line. Campbell got hands to it. Allen couldn't find a target by hand. Collard bumped fairly to the ground. And Long not letting the ball escape. Schoenmaker, 27 disposals, 24 of those kicks. Noble has 27 for the Pies. They're the leading ball winners on the ground. Brad Crouch hasn't been seen since half-time. As we got a bouncing ball on the wing. One-on-one contest. Lane did the hard work well, but then left it behind. Now he's in some trouble, but the umpire's lenient. So it'll be Campbell and Begg once again. Wins it down to Allen. Garcia took the body but left the ball behind, and Sullivan's just going to slam it on the boot. Johnson had it go through his fingertips. McLennan taken to the turf. And the ball's locked somewhere in there. Just outside the paint for Collingwood.
Plenty of tackle pressure from both teams. Sandringham with 59. Collingwood leading with 70 tackles. It's been hotly contested. Campbell got it out the ruck and cleared it himself. Just tried to get it going forward. Ryan tried to pick it up from the pack. Now they're away through Collard. Collard just flicked it out the back to nobody. Sofronides tried to pick it up. He got it moving forward. Did in the end. Harrison, he was wrapped up. And we'll get a ball up.
Did well not to drag it in there, Sofronides. $15-point game in favour of Collingwood. Hipwell taken in a strong tackle by Begg. Mid-season draftee back in 2021, Aiden Begg. Still only 21 years old, yet to feature in an AFL game. Harrison, slick hands were good to Sullivan. One-on-ones forward of the ball. Keeler was the spare. Disjudged it in flight. Blamirez did well though. Wants the 1-2 from Houghton, won't get it, because he's got Campbell on further afield, and maybe now the Zebras with some numbers streaming forward. Dean was brave there to run off his opponent. Collard, little tap clever. Butler's kick smothered. Collingwood defending well and in numbers. And they're out of danger, but perhaps only momentarily. Sullivan made no real attempt to get rid of it, but the umpire said that's fine.
Sullivan's really starting to put together a really good game. He's now on 25 disposals. That tap was won by the Zebs, but Collingwood will get it going forward, and they do. Oh, just a little bit of candy there. Candy sold. Then the kick finds Johnson. Johnson turns. He's just going to wait, and he signals to his teammates, get down there, let's lock it in instead of rushing the kick and getting a rebound. There's a bit of contact going on behind the ball. Umpire's not getting sucked into that one. Not a great kick there by Johnson. Now they'll go out wide to the wing. That just stays in. It hugs the boundary line. It'll come back.
Downfield free. Mulvogue was pushing the back after he kicked it.
Thank you, Peps. It'll be Harrison's ball. Harrison comes in. There's a bit of a wobbler in the end. Johnson was at the front. He tried to get the hand pass going forward. Ended up falling in his lap. He just gets up and tries to run it out of that pack, but he was cleaned up there by Campbell, and everything will be locked up. We're going to get a ball up here inside forward 50 for the Pies.
They lead it by 15 points. If you just joined us, Sandy kicked the first 5 goals of the game. Collingwood then kicked the next 10. And the Zebras have kicked the last 2 to close out the third term. Schoenmaker almost caught. Butler just hacks it forward any which way he can. Dean was strong against Heath. That looked like a throw. No call from the umpire. Butler on hands and knees is taken down. Hasty. It's messy stuff from the Zebras, but they're getting it moving. Collard beaten to it by Noble, who ran out of space.
You're right there, Peps. They're just getting it moving forward. There's just signs here that they're alive, but they just haven't had that connectivity that Collingwood have had.
Yeah, that surge mentality is what they've got at the moment. It was very scrappy, but they did work it forward about 50 metres, so that's something. They need to start scoring quickly, though, if they're going to have a chance. Hipwell, driven into the turf by a couple of Pies, Purcell and Sullivan.
So ball thrown up. Campbell got good position, won the tap, but Noble got to it first like he has a lot this afternoon. Managed to get the hand pass out of the way. Allen got it going forward. That just bounces awkwardly there for Hartman. He got it going away, but he had the ball stolen. Blameres comes inboard. That was a good hit in the end. Faimalo, he'll come out wide to Campbell, who gets another possession to his name. Campbell plays on, loops a hand pass over the top. That kick comes inboard. Hal Kahan puts it into the corridor. Jayath coming across, taking a beautiful intercept mark, then looks to bring it out the other side as they build up play here. Bytel hits a target out wide. Now they'll wait for their troops to come across. Just take their time here, will the Pies. Playing on, hand pass to Ryan. Ryan faked it, then come inboard, got the hand pass going again. Found his man in Kennedy. He got it onto the boot. Keller was back there for Sandringham. So what can they do across half back? Keller looks to switch the play. He does. Finds Hasty. Hasty elects to play on. Takes a bounce. He's looking for a target inboard. Finds Schoenmakers. He's got a brilliant left boot. What can he create?
Looks wide for Caminiti, who started this game so well with 2 goals in the opening quarter. Haven't seen much of him since. Paul Kahan concedes some ground to get into the corridor. Now Hipwell has it about 55 from goal. Wide kick, hits the target in Zagari. But this will be a very difficult shot. In fact, he won't even try it because he's got Schoenmaker, who is well within range.
That was much better patient build up there by Sandringham. They're able to find their targets well. And they were unselfish there, Zagari finding Schoenmakers, and this guy's kick, he's rated very highly amongst the team. In his debut game, he's been awarded to bring the kick-ins.
28 disposals, 10 marks. The only thing he hasn't done is kick a goal, and he still hasn't done that as he's put it across the face.
So just wide there. Big raps on Schoenmaker. He's really showing a lot today. He's a good size as well. He's a good body, can do everything. He's been in the middle, played across the back line as Noble will bring it in. Noble elects to play on, get a little bit extra distance on the kick. Comes out looking for Purcell, couldn't quite get it. Keller will try. Sofronides tried to get the tackle on. Collingwood numbers everywhere. Purcell got the hand pass out to Harrison. He went inboard with the kick, but it was just messed up in the end. They'll end up back with it. Harrison got it again. He got to Sullivan. Sullivan to Sofronides. He looped the hand pass over the top to Sparks. Sparks went inboard with it. Collingwood is starting to build now. Good tackle in the end, but it was awarded high. There's going to be a free kick here to the Pies. It's going to be Wilson. Wilson just wheels around. A real wobbler inside 50. Didn't quite hit the target. Schoenmakers with the hand pass out wide. Found Sparks. He puts it to the top of the square to a one-on-one. It was a good kick in the end. Zagari got the fist away. Zagari will get the ball back here. He's against the boundary, against the point line. He has to kick it out. Tries to get it to a target and does. This is good here for Sandringham. Now they can really start to get some attack, Sean Makers will just hold things up and try and find a target.
This is the man they want, launching it off half back. Just goes short on this occasion to McNabb. Former vice-captain of the Sandy Dragons. He's going to bite off it, a kick right up the corridor. Purcell with the fist. And Collingwood with numbers on the ground, but Mulvogue had a fumble. Opens the door for Hasty. Weaved his way through traffic nicely and finds O'Leary in stride. He's got numbers running back towards goal, but Campbell led back to him, and the kick from O'Leary was perfect. And Big Tom's taking the responsibility on his shoulders. He'll kick from just inside the paint, as good as directly in front. And with 10 minutes gone in the final term, this is a must kick for the Zebras. And he comes to make it 3 in a row for Sandy. And he's missed it all.
It was in front of goal, just continuing to hamper their success in this game.
2 goals, 9 since half-time.
Campbell, however, has put together a great game with 19 disposals. Second highest disposal getter for the Zebs. One underneath there. Garcia with the tackle. Ball wasn't going anywhere. We're going to get a ball up here. Johnson was wrapped up. Ball thrown in the air. Heath underneath it. He won the tap. Comes out wide here. What can the Zebs do? Can they get it going forward? They try. Through Seaton. He ends up picking it up, gets tackled out over the line. We get a boundary throw in.
He's come into the game a lot more as it's gone on, Tarkin O'Leary, having a good second half. The Zebras have been able to lock it inside their forward half, but just haven't been able to put it on the scoreboard in the last few minutes. Hipwell immediately tackled. Up to 32 now, Ari Schoenmaker. Noble has 29 for the Pies. Sullivan 25. Allen 22, which is something Collingwood supporters want to see. Pick 18 in the 2022 draft. Ed Allen hasn't made his AFL debut just yet. McNabb, Blamirez, O'Leary. Just scrambles a kick forward, only as far as Purcell, who's taken to the ground by Heath.
Tackle pressure here from Sandringham. They're just trying to work their way back into this game. That breeze has died down slightly. It wasn't as strong as it was throughout the game. Heath working underneath that, got his own stuff and tried to get the hand pass out the back to Lowe. He was wrapped up by Carmichael. The umpire blew the whistle. He'll come in and we'll get a ball up. By electing to throw the ball here in the field of play. Heath again working under it. Carmichael first to the footy, but he was wrapped up. And we'll get a repeat stoppage. He's doing a great job in the ruck here. He tries to body his way under it again, then got the tap towards the boundary line. It'll see its way over, and we'll get a boundary throw it.
14-point game in the first clash of the Smithies VFL season for 2024. Stay tuned, because up next we've got the Southern Saints hosting Collingwood. That one gets underway at around 7. O'Leary high ball, Faimalo let it get to the ground. Collingwood having to defend grimly here. Mulvogue takes them on. Scrappy kick forward. Johnson got a bad bounce. Keeler recovers well. McNabb has Campbell wide. He takes it at full strength, at full stretch, I should say. Centering ball. Caminiti has a lot to do against 3 Magpies. Got it to ground, but all the numbers were with Collingwood, and now Kennedy's got a little bit of space, but no one to kick it to.
So you're right there. He's just got to sit and wait here, and He elects to go down the line. Not a bad kick in the end. Good defence. Second grab at it. Mark will be awarded and paid. Have it out wide here. They'll come back in. Taking that mark there is Lane. He'll come in again and hit Long. Now Long will look for the switch. He'll find Dean. Dean will go in again. They hit the target there in Mulgrove. He'll slow play it here. Mulgrove thought about going to Noble, but instead went further afield. Carmichael got across, got the fist. Sullivan at the foot of the pack, got it going forward to Long. Long had a shot. He had a look at it, but it went wide, and it'll be a behind. So 10-10-70 Collingwood. Sandringham 7-13-55. The goals for both teams are just dried up here temporarily.
Yep, still no majors in this final term. McNabb. Need to get it moving, the Zebras. Big pack, Heath. Begg bodied him out of it legally. Young not going anywhere. Schoenmaker's been so impressive in his first game at VFL level. 32 disposals as Butler got a dubious looking handball away. Blamirez set upon immediately by Wilson and Sullivan. In fact, that was Kennedy. Sullivan, 26 disposals. Second best on the ground for Collingwood. He averaged 31 last year for Footscray. So I guess this is a bit of a down game for him. Allen now. Looks corridor. And the mark's taken on the chest by Bytel. Might be on the very limit of his range. He looks confident. And with the breeze at his back, why not, he says. And the non-officiating umpires called an off-ball free kick. A hold was the signal, and Bytel's not going to get the shot in the end. O'Leary sends it long up the line to a one-on-one. Collard caught behind. Lays the tackle, but Hartman sends it forward, only as far as McNabb.
So McNabb elects to play on, goes into the middle. Just couldn't quite get it going to his teammate. Begg got it. He got it moving out wide. Now Collingwood look to generate attack. Great tackle there by Famalo. And it'll be a ball up in the middle. Here at RSEA Park. 7 3/4 minutes played here in the third term. Almost into time on. Heath working under the footy. Sandringham, Schoenmakers just overran the footy. Pies look away here. They do through Wilson. And he just hit the target nicely. That was a good hit in the end, coming out of traffic. And they'll look to build up here. It'll be Glover. Co-captain Glover. North Ballarat is his community club. 46 VFL games last year for 42 goals, so no stranger to a major. That wind has died down a little bit. This will be a good test of it. Probably want to keep it just to the right stick. Left-footed kick. Oh, that sailed straight over the umpire's head. He celebrates well, Glover. It's exactly what they needed. So Collingwood now move ahead. They have their 11th, 11-10-76.
Well, it took 18 minutes, but we do have the first goal of the final term, and it's Glover's second. As he joins Joe Richards on 2 goals for the Pies. Caminiti has 2 for the Zebras, their only multiple goal scorer. And if there was any doubt about the outcome before, it suggests there isn't now. 21 points as we approach time on. Should be a shorter quarter as well, considering there hasn't been a lot of scoring. Back in the middle. Campbell just too big, too strong for Purcell. Ball pinging around. And it's a Zebras free kick. Schoenmaker bursts free. Perfectly weighted ball for Zagari. Dishes it off. Back to Schoenmaker. This will test him. And he failed the test. Out on the full.
That first hit coming out of the middle was absolutely fantastic to find Zagari, and they just trusted him in there to get the next one, but unfortunately it was wide. I think if they had got that one, there was just a pulse at the moment. That pulse is fading fast as Dean brings it into play. At the back of the pack, good mark in the end there from Campbell. It's been really strong for them as Campbell. He puts it into the middle. Sofronides under that one. Ball spills to the front of the pack. There was just a fisted attempt to bring it back into the corridor. 1-on-1 out here. That was one in the end by Blameris. He'll play on. Not on the right boot. Put it to the top of the square. Some great defence in the end. Ryan floating across and taking that grab. It's a very Collingwood-style defence. The extra man up in the air, and Ryan played that role really well. Points to the boundary line and says, boys, I'm just going to stick it out here, go the safe option. I'll camp under it here. No mark paid in the end as the ball spilled to the ground. It's going to be locked up. The Pies will be happy with this, just to take as much time off the clock as possible.
Campbell and Purcell again. Pytel, Sullivan. Floats it towards half forward. Hutchinson lays the tackle on Seaton. Ball spills free. In again goes Ryan. Zagari trying to link up by hand. Zagari again, but overran it. And Long was good. Able to find Carmichael in some space. Takes a bounce. Could have had a second. Instead, he's going to go for home. And it misses.
Well done by McClellan there, just to get back and play the goalkeeper role right on the line there. Just got a little bit on it. It wasn't much, but it was enough to send it off course. He'll bring it in, McClellan. So you think Sandringham just got to roll the dice a little bit here. You won't want to probably go too deep into the pocket this one. And they do, however. They go down the line looking for Young, but he didn't get to the footy first. He was to it second, then gave away the free kick. So Purcell with it now. Liam Purcell. He's just going to try and kick the cover off it. Put it to the square. Keller at the back. Couldn't quite. Ball to the front. Snap attempt. In the goal square. That one's fisted away. Keeler tried. Then a hurried kick. Sebs will try and work that one out. They get the clearing kick. Sofronides is back there on his own. And he'll take an easy chest mark. The only man with the long sleeves on. And I'll tell you what, it looks absolutely brilliant. And smart man, because it was 23 degrees when we started, but it's down to about 11, I reckon. That's just as a guess, as Sofronides hits a target. And Collingwood, you think this will be one of the last shots at goal for the game as Glover. He's already kicked two this afternoon. Tight angle this one, but it's probably that part of the ground where the wind's going to favour it. If you can just hang it out to the right a little bit and let the wind come back in. He's an experienced man. He can steer this one home, but he has got the left boot. Just not the pocket for him. He ends up kicking that one out on the full. The play will restart.
Pies lead it by 22 points as McNabb bites off the dangerous corridor kick, and it was straight to Richards. Two goals, two today for Joe Richards. Second year on the Pies AFL list. Be looking to try and sneak in to the AFL 23 for a debut this season. And a 3-goal game will certainly make a strong case, and he's got one of those now.
3 goals, nice effort there for Richards in this game. He's had 11 disposals 6 kick, 5 handballs and 4 marks, but also the 4 tackles as well. He's put on some really great tackle pressure. It's great to see him get rewarded with some scoreboard. It's been a great game here for Collingwood. They were 5 goals down at the start, and then to have the concentration to come back and kick the next 10 has been a brilliant effort for them.
Yeah, 12 goals to 2 since then, so it's been a little bit ugly for the Zebras since halfway through that opening term.
And they looked so formidable at the start. They did everything right at the contest. They had everything going forward, and then Collingwood then really started to dominate in the middle and get their clearance numbers up, and that's been the story of the afternoon. And here we go, another clearance here. Begg goes to Sullivan. Sullivan goes out wide. Sullivan's played a really good game. He found Carmichael. They go out wider again. Collingwood, the way that they've gone forward, being able to find targets has been great. They go back into Carmichael. Carmichael points that he's going to go deep, but instead goes out wide. So sitting on the footy out there, Richards, the most recent goal kicker. He just sticks it up in the air. Big fly by Keeler, but it went to the back of the pack. And we'll get a ball up deep inside 50 for Collingwood.
26 minutes gone. Collingwood are going to win the season opener in the Smithies VFL for 2024. Carmichael through traffic, gets boots a ball. He's kicked it about 40 metres backwards in the end. Gathered by Lane. Kennedy by Tell. Would love a goal against his former side, won't get an opportunity. Lane just puts it up and getting in the hole and taking a strong mark for the Zebras was McNabb, and Sofronides does the same for Collingwood.
Pretty work, Sofronides, he goes inboard. Jayath now, he'll go out wide. That kick finds his target there in Richards, who's dominated out on that wing here in the last term. He'll go in to Long, he'll hold things up. He'll take as long as he likes. He'll come back now to Ryan. And that's it. There it is. Collingwood get the first win of the VFL, the Smithies VFL, 12-11-83. Sandringham 7-13-55. It was a brilliant comeback after being 5 goals down. Ended up with 7-13.